Okay, so you need water, some watercolours, and I'm going to do the black one first. So first, you're going to mix up in the lid, because this is going to act as a palette, just a bit of light black. I'm going to move that to one side. Now, to make watercolour lighter, we just use water. So I'm going to start with this area here, because I want that to dry off first. So wet my brush, and I'm just going to go in with water, nothing else. I'm using a wet on wet method for this, and I'm just going to go around this edge like so. And then I'm going to wet this so it's even more watery to dilute it. And I just want to get this in here. So I'm just this shadow that I can see. A bit more water just to spread that out a bit. Go back into my paint. Doesn't seem like much now, but obviously against the white, it will. And I'm just going to leave that to dry now. Now I'm going to show you how to do a wash. Now, with watercolour, you want to go light to dark. So I'm going to start with the black suite. So I just want to go across with water first. Try and stay in those lines. I've traced it out very lightly first. I'm just going to follow the direction of the suite, because if you look on the black one, it actually has some lines going up it. There's a few bits of, I can see almost like a browny sienna type colour in there as well. But we're just going to go in first with a black wash. So I'm going to get a bit more black on there. And this is just me going across. Doesn't matter if I get it on this bit, because that is going to be darker, but I'm just going to start out with just a nice light wash, and I'm just going to go backwards and forwards, just following the shape of that suite. So that's just my first wash. Now, if you notice on the suite, it is lighter up here. There's areas of lightness. So what I want to do is I'm just going to go back in, and I'm just going to dip my paintbrush into the black as it is. And I want quite a lot of pigment on there. I'm going to load it up, and I'm just going to go in where whilst obviously this bit is wet, I'm just going to start to just trace out this outline, because this is going to be really dark. Now, I don't want to go up here because this is wet, so I'm just going to stay in this area. So I can just put this outline in, being very careful not to touch any paint that's still wet so that it doesn't bleed. Very careful and precise on this section. Okay. So whilst I just wait, because as I say, I can't quite go up there yet, I'm going to go in, I'm just going to add a couple more darker layers up here. I feel like I can see some tints of just in there. going to go and put a couple of details. I'm just going to put a bit of yellow just around this rim here, just to, because I can see just a bit of colour there. So I'm just going to put that in. You don't have to do this, but I want to. And then I feel like there's the odd speck, but I'm just going to follow the lines just with the tip of my brush, just to give it that direction that sweet's going in with that same. I used this one. But you don't have to, as I say. I just wanted to put those in because I feel as though there's some marks going up there. So I'm just going to put those in just so it gives it a bit of depth and something else. Right, okay. So I'm going to go in again now into this bottom corner because that is quite dark. So I'm going to just wet my brush off. I'm going to dry it off a bit because I want a nice... I'm just going to go up in layers. So don't want it as dark as this. I'm just going to mix it into here. Let's get some more. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. And I'm going to start going in now into this corner. Bit too thick. Let's go back and wet that brush. Okay, this is better. Okay. Careful to keep that line in that direction. Sorry, keep painting in the same direction. You don't want to go this way because the sweet is going that way. So we're going to keep going backwards and forwards. And I'm going to do my best to leave certain areas lighter so that we've got those lines in. I want some more paint on here. Don't want to overwork it. I'm just going to go across in that same direction. And I'm going to try and leave some areas lighter. Okay, now I think that that's probably okay for now, because when that dries it's going to be lighter and then I want to go in and add more detail to it. So I'm going to leave that as it is for now because all this is still wet. So that's the first one to start with.